Hi, welcome to the video Spring Boot OAuth2 Social Login with Facebook with me, Nam Hà Minh from CodeJava.net. Through this video, I will help you how to implement social login function using Facebook for an existing Spring Boot web application. In other words, develop a function that allows the users to log into the application using their own Facebook account besides traditional username and password authentication. And you know, the social login is very common in modern web applications. And I will also share with you how to implement the logic after successful OAuth2 authentication to register a new user or update existing user. Suppose that we have an existing web application in which we implemented the customer login feature, allowing the customer to log in using email and password, and the user must register for an account in the website to log in using email and password. And in this video, we will update the application to add a hyperlink login with Facebook in the login form that allows the customer to log in using their own Facebook account without the need to register an account in the website. And when the customer, the user clicks the login with Facebook hyperlink, the Facebook login screen appears, allowing the customer to log into our application without the need to register for a new account. And this is very convenient for the end users and very common in modern web applications. Let me show you an existing Java Spring Boot project in Spring 2 Sui IDE. As you can see here, the SOPME frontend project. Let me start this Spring Boot application. And you can see in the Spring Boot configuration file, it is configured to be running in an embedded Tomcat server listening on port number 80, and the context path is /SOPME here. Okay, the application is up and running, and let me access this application using a Chrome browser here. Localhost, and the context path is SOPME here. You see, this is a web application developed in Spring Boot, and you can see the users can click login link here to login as the customer. And currently, the application provides authentication using email and password, and the customer, the users must to register a new account to be able to log in. The registration steps can be time consuming, and the users don't want to register. So implementing social login, enabling the users to log in using their Facebook account is very convenient. So in the next few minutes, I will show you how to update this Spring Boot application to implement social login using Facebook. Now let me log in to this application using email and password. You can see I have successfully logged into this application, and you can see the username appears here, Ravi Kumar here, and click logout. So we will be working on a Java project using the following key technologies: Spring Boot for web application, Spring Data API for the data access layer, Spring Security for authentication, and Spring OAuth2 client for implementing a social login, Timeleaf as the template engine, Bootstrap and jQuery for the view layer, and MySQL as the database. And to follow this video, make sure that you have installed these software programs on your computer: Java Development Kit, JDK, Spring 2 Sui IDE, SDS, MySQL Server, and MySQL Workbench. And I draw this diagram to help you understand the workflow of social login using Facebook. As you can see, suppose that user is at the login page, and he can choose the login method to log in using either username, password, or Facebook. If he wants to log in using username and password, he must register before, and the application will process login with the database as normal. And in case the user wants to log in using his own Facebook account here, the application will process login using OAuth2. And upon successful OAuth2 authentication, the application will check if the user is new or not. If the user is new, it will register the new user in the application's database. Else, if the user was already in the database, the application will just update the name of the user in the database, and that completes the social login workflow. Pretty simple and clear, right? And here are the steps which we need to follow. First, we need to create a Facebook app ID in development mode, and then we configure the project to use Spring Security OAuth2 client to implement social login. And then we need to update the database table and entity class to add a new column to store the information about authentication provider, which is Facebook in this video. And we also need to update the login page to display the option that allows the user to log in using their own Facebook account. And to implement social login with Spring OAuth2, we need to code a custom OAuth user class and OAuth user service class. And then we configure the Spring security for OAuth2 authentication. And to implement the logic to register new user or update existing user, we need to implement an authentication success handler to update the customer services class to register new user or update existing one. And finally, I will show you how to enable Facebook App ID in live mode in order to run the application in production mode. We need to create a new Facebook App ID to be able to use social login in our web application. So make sure that you have logged into your Facebook account and head to developers.facebook.com. If you have not registered a new Facebook developer account, you must create one. And click the link My Apps at the top right corner here. And you can see I have currently 2 apps, and I create a new one for everything else. And the app display name Submit application. Contact email is the email associated with the Facebook account, and click Create App ID. I'm not robot to pass security check. Submit. Okay, so we got a new Facebook App ID created here, and you can see it status is in development mode here. That means we can test social login with Facebook with this Facebook account only. And click settings here, basic. And specify the app domain is localhost because we are testing a social login in a localhost. Just type localhost here. And click Save Changes. So to use a Facebook App ID in development mode is very easy, and we have the App ID and App secret key here. that are used in our Spring Boot application to implement social login for Facebook. Next, in order to implement social login, we need to declare a new dependency in the project's Maven form.xml file here to use Spring OAuth2 client API here. We can copy this dependency information and just change the artifact ID. Group ID is the same, and change the artifact ID to Spring Boot Starter here, OAuth2 dash client. And it's better to stop the application because we are going to write a lot of code, making a lot of changes. Stop. And you can see Maven automatically downloads the required jar files for Spring OAuth2 client library here. As you can see, Spring Security OAuth2 here, OAuth2 Core, OAuth2 those here. And then we need to configure Spring Boot application configuration file here to specify Spring Security OAuth2 client properties for social login. So type spring dot security OAuth2 client registration here, and we specify the registration ID is Facebook here, and client ID. The value of client ID is app ID here in the Facebook app ID screen here. Copy and paste client ID, and then client secret here, and we copy the client secret key here, and we specify the scope, the information that the application can read from Facebook's email and public underscore profile. That's it for the configuration for Spring Security OAuth2 client for Facebook. Next, we need to update the table in the database. As you can see, you see MySQL Workbench, and the table customers is where the customers information is stored. And we need to add a new column to store the information about the authentication provider. So right click here and onto table, and we add a new column at the end here. The column name is what underscore provider, and its data type is varchar with a length about 15 characters, and click apply. Finish. Select all rows from this table, and you can see currently there are some customers in this table here, and we have new column auth underscore provider here. And in the Java code, we need to update the corresponding entity class. So I have the entity class customer here. We need to add a new column here to map with the column in the database table. But first, we need to get an enum. Yeah. Name is authentication provider, and we specify two values for this enumeration: local, meaning authentication using username and password in a local database, and Facebook is social login. And then in the customer class, we declare a new field with enumeration type. Here, write with authentication provider, auth provider, and we use the annotation enumerated from JPA, and we specify the enum type is string to map the value of string for local or Facebook in the enum here, and we map the column name. Name is auth underscore provider, and we also need to generate getter and setter methods for that field. So right click, source, generate getters and setters here. Check to generate getters and setters for auth provider field here. Generate. And that's it for updating the database table and entity class. Next, let's update the customer login page to have a hyperlink login with Facebook here. So in this project, I have the login page here, login HTML here, and here I add hyperlink login with Facebook here in a div section. I'm using a heading for a tag for hyperlink login with Facebook, and specify the URL using timediff syntax th:/sref equal to slash OAuth2 slash authorization slash Facebook. Now let's start the application to see the hyperlink login with Facebook. Login, and you see we have the hyperlink login with Facebook here. If I click this hyperlink now, we got an error because we have not configured Spring OAuth2 client yet. Next, we need to create a custom OAuth user class to represent the login user object with OAuth2 authentication, and the OAuth user service class to return a custom OAuth user object. So in the project, I create a new Java package here. OAuth here, and create a new Java class. The class name is custom OAuth2 user, and it implements the interface OAuth2 user from Spring Security OAuth2 here. Okay, finish. And this custom OAuth2 user wrap an instance of OAuth2 user here. OAuth2 user. And we generate a constructor using this field. Source generate constructor using fields, and choose the field OAuth2 user. And we override some methods, get attributes here. Very simple. Just return OAuth2 user, get attributes here, and for the get authorities method, return OAuth2 user, get authorities. And here's the get name method. We need to return the attribute name from the OAuth2 user object. OAuth2 user, get attribute name. Yeah. And because in the header of the page I display the customer name here using this syntax. You can see full name here. So in this class we need to have the getter method get full name. Get full name. Yeah. Public string get full name. And this method also returns the attribute value of the attribute name. Okay. And now let's create the second class, custom OAuth2 user service. The class name is custom OAuth2 user service, and this class extends the superclass default OAuth2 user service here. Finished. And here in this class we override just a single method, load user here. And in this load user method we return custom OAuth2 user object, wrapping the return object from this super.load user method. So here we return a new custom OAuth2 user, passing an instance of the return type, return object of the load user method here. That's it. Very simple. And now let's configure Spring Security for OAuth2 authentication. So I open the web security config Spring Security configuration class here, and we update the configure HTTP security method here. After the section that configures the form login here, OAuth2 login, and we specify the login page is the same login page as in the form login, and we specify the user info endpoint user service, and we need to have an instance of our custom OAuth2 user service class here in this security class private custom OAuth2 user service and have this field auto-wire by Spring Framework auto-wire. Yeah, and we copy here, and we need to have two and here. Okay, and we'll also need to configure the to permit the public access to the URL or the URLs starting with OAuth2 here /OAuth2 * and permit all because in the login page we use the hyperlink starting with /OAuth2 here. Okay, that's for the minimum configuration for implementing a social login with Facebook. Now, save all the changes, and we are ready to test login with Facebook. We got an error here. Sorry, we need to have this class annotated with the um, service annotation. Yeah. So Spring Framework will be able to inject an instance of this class. Okay, the application has been restarted successfully without any errors. Now let's test login. I need to log out from my Facebook. Okay, let me log out, sign out, log out here. Okay, I am out of Facebook. Now let's try to log into this application using my Facebook account. And you can see this is a Facebook login screen. And I use my Facebook with this email and click login. And you can see Facebook display a message. Submit application will receive your name and profile picture and email address here. Click continue as name here. And upon successful authentication, it redirects me to the application's homepage. Here you see successful. Awesome, right? And you can see the username display here, Nam Hà Minh here, which is a name in my Facebook. And let's see in the console view, we don't have any error. Perfect. Now let's try to log out and try to log in again with another Facebook. Sorry, you can see when I log out and I click login again, it directs me directly login automatically because I stay logged in Facebook. If I want to log in with another Facebook, I must log out from Facebook first. Log out. Okay. Log out here. Now log in with Facebook again. And you can see this time I can choose another Facebook. For example, this Facebook login. And you see we got an error, app not set up, because this app is still in development mode. That means Facebook app ID in development mode, we can use Facebook of that account to login. We can't use other Facebook accounts to login. So to be able to log in with any Facebook accounts, you must enable live mode for the Facebook app, which I will show you later in this video. Now let's log out from Facebook. Log out. Okay. Let's access the application homepage again. And now let's log in again with the Facebook. Nam Java Programmer. Here, with this Facebook account, we created the Facebook app ID, so we can use only the Facebook account of the Facebook app ID to log in. And you can see I have logged in successfully. Next, I will show you how to implement the logic that is executed upon the successful OAuth authentication here to check if the user is new or not. If the user is new, the application will register the user into the database. Else, the application just updates the user's information, such as username. So we need to create a new class here. The name of the class is OAuth2 login success handler, and this class extends the simple URL authentication success handler here, and we override just a single method on authentication success here. This method on authentication success will be invoked by Spring Security OAuth2 in case the user has logged into the application using OAuth2 with Facebook account, and we need to annotate this class using the component annotation. So Spring Framework will be able to inject an instance of this class into the Spring Security configuration class here. And here we have an instance of the customer services class. In this project, I have the customer services class here. Customer services, customer service, and you can see in the parameter of this method, it provides an authentication object which we can use to get the email of the login user. So I need to get the custom OAuth2 user here, OAuth2 user equal authentication, and get principal here, and we need to cast as a return object to type custom OAuth2 user, and then we get the email equal OAuth2 user, get email. So we need to implement get email method in the customer OAuth2 user class here. Public string get email, and we return the value of the attribute email in the OAuth2 user object email here. Get email, and for now we just print the value of this email, customer email. That's it, and we configure Spring Security here after and here configure associate handler, and we auto-write an instance of OAuth login associate handler here, auto-write private OAuth2 login associate handler here, and copy paste here. That's it to configure OAuth2 login associate handler. Spring Security, we invoke the on authentication success method here upon successful authentication. Okay, now we can save all the changes and test the success handler. Okay, the application has been restarted successfully, and now let's test home page, login with Facebook, and I have logged in successfully automatically because I stay logged in my Facebook account. And let's see in the console view, you can see it prints customer email here, namjavaprogramer@gmail.com here, exactly. And now I will show you an example how to write code to register as a user upon successful OAuth2 authentication. If the user is new, was not inserted, was not registered in the database. Okay, come back to our Eclipse project, and here, after getting the email, we call the customer service here to um, get a customer by email here, and this method returns the customer object. It will return no if no customer found with a given email. And here we check if customer is no, meaning that the customer has logged into the application with Facebook account is new, and we want to register the customer automatically into the application's database. So we call customer service register new customer after what login success, and we pass the email, name, and authentication provider. Name is name of customer OAuth2 user. Get full name here. And here we need to pass the authentication provider type is Facebook here, and click here to create this method in the customer service class with these parameters: email, name, and authentication provider. What provider? And here in this method, we create a new customer object. Customer equal new customer, and set some values for some fields for the customer. For example, email, first name. We set first name to the name, and we set enabled true, and we set created time, which is the current date and time, and we set authentication provider here, host provider. That's it, and invoke the method of the customer repository to insert into the database customer report here. Save customer object here. Okay. Now we are ready to test, save all the changes, and let's see what is in the customer table in the database. Let's execute this select SQL statement. And you can see now in the customers table, we don't have any customer with the email name Java programmer. Okay. Now let me log in to the application. Log in with Facebook here. Okay, I am logged in. Okay, and let's execute this select SQL statement again. And you can see a new row was inserted with the email name Java programmer here. Password is no because I log in using my Facebook account. And you can see first name is set to Nam Ha Minh, which is my Facebook name. And you can see the authentication provider is Facebook here. Perfect, right? That means the logic that registers a new customer after what successful login was executed. And you can do the same in case the customer already exists in the database. Customer service. In this case, we just update the first name of the customer. For example, update exist customer after OAuth2 login success, and we pass create an exist method in the customer service class. Yeah, and we need to have an instance of the customer object, customer, and name, and authentication provider, auth provider. And here we update the customer first name to the name and set the authentication provider, host provider, and call the method customer repo to update the changes. Have customer here. That's it. And we pass the customer object name, and authentication provider is Facebook. Okay, that's it. And for this case, you can test yourself if the customer was registered in the database. The application just update the information like first name and authentication provider type here. Finally, when you put the application into production, you need to enable Facebook App ID in live mode, so the users can use their own Facebook accounts to log in to the application. I recommend you to check the video on my YouTube channel. You check the playlist OAuth authentication here, and we see the video how to create Facebook App ID for website login, including how to enable live mode here. So I recommend you to check this video to know how to enable Facebook App ID into live mode. Yeah. At the 8 minutes. Awesome. So that you have learned how to implement social login using Facebook in a Spring Boot application with the Spring Security OAuth2, and upon successful authentication, I will also share with you how to register new user and how to update existing user. I hope you found this video helpful. Please help me to grow this channel by subscribing to my channel, and then like, comment, and share this video. Thank you.